Hey, what's up, my little tattletales? How you doing today? Well, if your name is Travis Barker, most likely you are trying to imitate a medical professional on the phone to Kourtney Kardashian right now. Y'all, what am I talking about? Kourtney has been sharing her fertility journey, right? Now, as we know, she tried IVF. She said IVF literally made her go into early menopause. Okay, fine. And again, a lot of people don't like IVF because of the synthetic hormones. But y'all, let's get into this. She started going to a Vedic specialist, which is a natural specialist that specializes in actually knowing the human body. And they've said one of the ways that she can increase her chances of actually getting pregnant with Travis's child is to drink from his well 3 to 4 times a week. If you know what I mean, we'll call it the OS. She literally said to drink from Travis's well, do the OS, and then swallow 4 times a week. And when I said that, I said, Travis, you tried it. But get this, tattletales, because you know, I always like to dig a little deeper. It actually might be something to this, y'all. Let's get into this insane report. All right. Let's get into this insane report. Okay, so you guys, let's look at Kourtney's first, her first quote, right? And it said that, this is in the latest installment of Keeping Up with the Kardashian. Kourtney talks about her struggle to conceive. She said her last egg retrieval was not successful. So this new thing that we're going to be trying is Panchakarma cleanse, which is Ayurvedic, right? Which is alternative medicine, about 3,000 years old. It'll get rid of all the toxins that are deep within our tissues, out of our bodies, to have better quality eggs. I want to try that cleanse, not to get pregnant. No. I don't want a case of the babies, but it might be good to cleanse, right? She said, I did this cleanse 10 years ago. I kept telling Travis about this, and it's the one thing we haven't tried, and he's heard me talking about it. Now get this. She said when they visited their expert named Martha, they kept asking, were there any thyroid issues? And she said, I can't remember what he said, if it was low or high. And then he said something he told us. He told me that I should keep drinking from his well and swallowing 4 times a week. Travis said, I love this doctor. And Kourtney was like, yeah. And Kourtney was like, babe, let's just stick to the cleanse. She said, I've been on so much estrogen right now, on top of not having relations with you and not having caffeine, and my mood takes a turn. That's why. And she said, I'm okay with a bad day or a rough day with you than any day without you. Now, here's the thing. Before we dismiss this as outright hockey puck, right? Let's actually look at the actual medical evidence, because we found actual evidence that it may increase your chances of having a baby. A new study has claimed or found a link between women who give OS and swallow, and it reduces the rate of recurrent miscarriages, right? They say if you're feeling skeptical, we don't blame you. However, scientists at Leiden University Medical Center, a respected college in the Netherlands, gathered a relatively small sample of 97 women under the age 36 with at least 3 unexplained consecutive miscarriages before 20 weeks of pregnancy with the same partner. They also had a match-controlled group of 137 women who had not experienced any complications with their pregnancy. All the women were asked to fill out a questionnaire looking into their demographics, sexual behavior, health, and lifestyle. Now, they found that 41 out of 72 women, that's 56%, who experienced recurrent miscarriages reported having OS with their partner, compared to 70 out of 96%, which is 72.9% of the match control. In other words, those who experienced recurrent miscarriages were less likely to have OS. Now, how do they explain this, right? They said there's a lot of things. The study suggests a possible protective role of OS in the occurrence of recurrent miscarriage in proportion to the cases. This is in line with the hypothesis that the gut has the most adequate absorptions in the absence of inflammatory environment, and seminal fluid contains soluble LAH antigens, which can induce maternal immune tolerance towards inherited parental antigens of the fetus before inflammation. Okay, you guys, if you want me to actually break this down into words, what it means is you don't realize it, but when you have anything foreign in your body, that is alive, that challenges your gene, that could invade or whatever, the immune system attacks it. They look at it as invaders. They look at it as inflammatory things. They look at them as, you got it, right? All right, you got it. I don't have to explain that anymore. That includes drinking from your loved one's cup. So when it's almost like if you have, not enough to kill you, but if you have a slight allergy, what they suggest is keep exposing yourself to that allergy in little increments, because your immune system, right, will build up an immunity to it, and it will lower the attack of the response. So it's kind of like, you know, the little soldiers come in and they're like, whoa, what is that? But if they come and visit 4 times a week, pretty soon they're like, oh, that's just the soldiers. We'll just ignore them. This is actually what they're saying. It says that because your gut, if you don't know, they're finding so much relationships between your gut, mental health, depression, all this stuff. Also, they're finding that there is a link through pregnancy. It makes sense, since that is what nourishes you and where all life forms from. Your gut, that is food, is actually life. It makes sense on a certain level, but they're saying that if you can train your body through your gut to become used to, and you have to stay with the same partner, of course, to become used to certain proteins that are in the, God, I'm trying to like avoid demonetization, but for anybody having fertility issues, this might actually be helpful, right? But if you do that, it will actually lower your immune system's response, which is a good thing to the soldiers. They'll get used to the LAH antigens, right? That can induce maternal intolerance. And it looks like it will increase your chances of actually getting pregnant. And at the very least, it definitely increases your odds of not having a miscarriage. Again, it's a bit unconventional, and you guys can roll your eyes at it. For those of you that are actually suffering with fertility, it is something to try. This is long, 3,000 years of tradition of medicine. I know everybody thinks the natural remedies are nuts and berries and hooey, but the more we get into medicine, the more we realize there's a reason why these traditions stood for 3,000 years. Not even that, we have modern anecdotal evidence to actually show that it actually does get your body used to the foreign invaders. And that way, when they come, your body doesn't attack them by foreign invasion. And it also lowers the chances of having an early miscarriage. And again, it goes from 72.9%, right, down to 52. That is huge if you are actually trying to have children. So again, it's a bit unconventional. Kourtney, you know, you're kind of going into over-explaining, but I will say for women or men that are dealing with issues like this and want to have babies, maybe Kourtney oversharing could have really put you down with something that can bless you with 9 months with a new baby. Although, if you really just want to get down to it, somebody just like DM Black Jesus Tristan Thompson on Snapchat and see if he'll come by, because I'm sure that will cure your fertility issues, because it cures everybody else's. All right, you guys, I will talk to you later. Mwah!